get a little bit more bearish on the timeline into the halving cycle and we pull back towards $58,000, I'll rather reload. The funding rates will become very, very expensive for me to continue to hold that position open. So don't confuse that with me closing out my spot positions. At Bybit, I have all the leverage positions, and BitGet, I have some of the spot positions which are open over here. These I'll continue to leave on the table, right? Absolutely no point in closing the BitGet spot positions. Now, also, make sure that you participate in the Winner Bitcoin competition, right? So if you are trading on Bybit and BitGet alongside me, well, if you go through to the Winner Bitcoin, that means that you have the exchanges which qualify you to participate in the Winner Bitcoin, which is coming up, right? So we only have a couple of days left, guys. May the 15th. All you need to do is use the links in the description below, sign up to those exchanges. Each one gives you the opportunity to guess the price. So if you sign up to Bybit, BitGet, OKX, Evo, BingX, CoinW, those are each respectively their own entries into the Winner Bitcoin competition. And the closest guess for the Coinbase price as the clock strikes 12 on May the 15th this year will win one full Bitcoin, right? But you need to take 10 trades. You win. I think you win half a Bitcoin if you don't do the 10 trades. You win the full Bitcoin if you do take 10 trades. So have a look at that. Please take advantage of this competition. I think it's one of the biggest competitions. At this rate, you're going to be winning over $70,000, right? So good luck to everybody that's participating in that. Let's continue. Another reason for the short squeeze is funding rates, which have completely reset. All in all, this is looking good. It shows there's a lot of open interest that can still come back into the market to get prices higher. Look at that. Funding rate heat map fully reset. We in price discovery right now, pretty much. Bitcoin is in the price discovery phase, but still, nobody's really long, right? They're too scared to be long. Here you have your price moving towards the upside, in line with what we're seeing with this data, as per what the funds are doing, the asset managers versus the hedge funds. You can see it showing exactly the same thing, right? Spot increasing towards the upside. Leverage has been short for the last couple of days, and these guys will have to close their positions, thus creating a squeeze towards the upside. So, also, if we look over here, trading light, there is something to see over here, which is going to be, of course, the price action that's coming up soon. $75,000. We have 344 Bitcoin for sale at that exact level. And that's where you need to be careful that you don't get that deviation, as per this chart, right? The deviation back into the range. So we're getting into an exciting part of the market cycle. It is definitely getting interesting. S&P 500, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones have not yet broken down. They did create new swing lows, but they've broken back towards the upside. This week will be interesting. Let's see, leading into the high impact economic data, if it can hold up, if it can. Expect again that short squeeze is probable. Now, if we look at total 3 for the altcoin market cycle, you can expect 2 major phases for the next upcoming weeks and months for the altcoins. 2 big expansive phases, right? Round 1 is going to be where we break back above this level. So let's quickly go to it. If we break back above $820 billion, that's where you're going to see the altcoins really start to aggressively move towards the upside. And then when we break the prior all-time high at $1.7 trillion, that will lead to the second leg up for those altcoins. So we've spoken about the altcoins moving up in 3 phases, right? You have the first phase, which is currently this one over here. Then at some point you'll get a pullback. This is as per Elliott wave count, right? Phase 1 up, phase 2 down. Phase 3 is the big one towards the upside. Phase 4 slightly down. And then you lead into phase 5, which is that blow off top phase. We currently have only completed pretty much phase 1 for the altcoin market, right? So there's a lot of upside potential. So we'll go into some of those coins. Again, please drop the coins that you want. And also, let's review here. Let's review the poll section. So we have how many of you voted? Okay, 2,220 votes of there. Will Bitcoin pump or dump into the halving cycle in 10 days' time? Let's review the poll results. 55% of you believe it's going to pump, 20% believe dump, and then the other 25% of you think sideways. So let's see, only time will tell. So majority are believing that we're going to break out. Now, if we look at what the retail market participants are doing, the true retail, they don't even download an exchange. They only have things like Robinhood. Their BTC holdings have been increasing, right? They've increased by 14% on Robinhood in the last 6 months, but ETH has decreased by 9%. So retail users are beginning to come back to crypto, just not in ETH, and ETH has been in a pretty tough spot, right? Making lows last seen 1,000 days ago. So 3-year lows, pretty significant, and a lot of the market starting to pay attention. This is what happened previously, right? ETH BTC bottomed at the halving in the last cycle, and then it 4x'd in the next year. 365 days later, it moved back towards the top of the range high. So let's see. We'll keep an eye out on this, and a lot of traders are starting to take note, right? So let's see if this would provide a similar result. Let's just quickly grab our tool. So we're at these lows. Let's just say hypothetically it moved up from here to the top side of the range. That would be the equivalent, not quite a 4x, but 70% against Bitcoin if it were to make it back in the next year towards the top of the range high. This is the level that you need to focus on when it comes to the ETH BTC chart. All you need to do now is focus on 0.050. That's the level to reclaim, right? Anything underneath that is bearish. Anything above that gives the chance for a bear trap and a deviation, which, as you can see, Peter Brandt, legend trader over here, even outlines bear trap as a possibility. He says over here that often when price hits a 35-month low, there is always the possibility of a bear trap taking place. Sweeping below that range, if you reclaim above, pay attention, that could be the bear trap scenario. Now you've had an increase as well. A lot of whales have been taking advantage, adding massive positions, tens of thousands of Ethereum into their portfolio based on this recent dip that we've had, right? So I think for ETH, it's more so proxy for what's going to happen for the rest of the market. And I wrote something about that in the Discord over the course of the weekend. Let's quickly go to that. I wrote something in the Discord over the course of the weekend about ETH BTC. There was an update over there basically suggesting that, at some point in the cycle, it's likely that ETH is going to be at $10,000. And if you look at the spot ETF probability, at least in accordance with what BlackRock have filed for in the past, they have an approval rate of 576 to 1. They've only lost one, and they've won 576. So eventually you are going to see the spot ETF take place, right? And that should get Ethereum up towards that $10,000 mark. So anything near that $3,000 mark, if you're a safe trader and you want to size up with low risk, well, that's an easy 3x return for you on something like ETH. So here it is. A lot of traders, right? A lot of traders taking note. Third time lucky, longing the 0.05 generational bottom. This is the long-term trading range for the ETH BTC chart. Bitcoin dominance still increasing towards the top side. You'll remember we've had our criteria for how we view the Bitcoin dominance, but on a high